Hello from the Bureau. Today is Monday the 3rd of March and here with an update of Tropical Cyclone Alfred and the likely coastal crossing for the southeast Queensland coast with widespread impacts extending into northeast New South Wales. Now we have issued a tropical cyclone watch now for Gari extending all the way down to just north of Grafton. And this does include the highly populated areas of the Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, Gold Coast and the Northern Rivers District of New South Wales. So within this watch area, we're expecting gale force winds to start to develop from Wednesday evening. So that is sustained winds of 63 kilometres per hour, but gusting in excess of 90. And this watch area is expected to be upgraded to a warning from tomorrow. So let's take a look at Alfred at the moment. Here it is, a Category 1 system sitting in the Coral Sea around 475 kilometres east-northeast of Brisbane. And for the remainder of today, we're expecting Alfred to track southeastwards parallel to the coast, but continuing to generate windy conditions about the coast and a few showers, but importantly generating very powerful waves and swell. So we still have a coastal hazard warning current extending all the way from Sandy Cape down to Coolangatta for damaging surf and abnormally high tides. And it's a combination of these that are creating dangerous beach conditions and increasing the risk of inundation of low-lying areas like foreshores and car parks and adjacent streets, but as well it has the potential for creating significant coastal erosion. Now, as we move to tomorrow, we're expecting Alfred to re-intensify into a Category 2 system and make a U-turn and start drifting back towards the Queensland coast, with a likely crossing either late Thursday night or in the early hours of Friday morning as a Category 2 or potentially Category 1 system. Now, the effects of Alfred will be felt widespread, so not just near the actual crossing point. In fact, the greatest impacts are expected on the southern flank of the cyclone. And those impacts would include damaging to destructive winds. So these are winds that are strong enough to bring down trees, power line, cause damage to property, major power outages, and as well heavy to intense rainfall that may lead to life-threatening flash flooding. But as well, the tropical cyclones are likely to create a very large storm surge, which increases the risk of coastal inundation and does make it difficult for the water to escape from the river systems. So as we move then from Friday and Alfred moves further inland, we're expecting it to quickly be downgraded to a tropical low. However, the rain and the flooding impacts are expected to continue throughout Friday and potentially even into the weekend. So let's take a look at that rain and wind data. We can see that the rain and the wind really does start to increase and build during Wednesday and continue building during Thursday with a peak on Friday and potentially into Saturday as well. Now, the heaviest rainfall totals is highly dependent on the path, the intensity and the speed of the tropical cyclone. But we do have the potential to have daily rainfall totals between 200 to 400 millimetres possible. And for that reason, we do have flood watches current across southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales for potential minor to major flooding. So if you or anyone you know lives across southeastern parts of Queensland or northeastern parts of New South Wales, now's the time to stay up to date with the Bureau's forecasts and warnings via the Bureau website, the app and social media. And as always, listen to the advice from your local emergency services. Bye for now.